Hello, I'm Jeff Allen. Ambassadors, consul generals, and a host of diplomats representing the nations of the European Union were in Riverside, California recently to commemorate the signing of a significant trade pact, the Transatlantic Trade Agreement and Investment Partnership. The agreement was spearheaded in the United States by the County of Riverside, which leads the effort in gaining the crucial support of over 3,000 other counties across the country. Once it goes into effect, officials say the pact will contribute greatly to the economies in both the EU and the U.S., resulting in as many as 740,000 new jobs nationwide. We took our California CEO cameras to the Crestmore Manor in Riverside for the reception and presentation of the agreement. I had the chance to speak with some of the key leaders and dignitaries on hand, starting with Riverside County's foreign trade leader, Tom Freeman, whose role as vice chair of the National Association of Counties has been vital in gaining nationwide support for the trade agreement. I have the pleasure of standing with Mr. Tom Freeman. He is a commissioner of the Riverside County Office of Foreign Trade and also with the Economic Development Agency here in Riverside County. Very special event today indeed, Tom Freeman, because we are commemorating the signing of the Transatlantic Trade Agreement with the European Union. Tell us a little bit about the significance of this trade pact.
This trade pact is really important for Riverside County, all 28 cities. On a larger scale, of course, our state and our other 49 states around the country. Why? Because it knocks down trade barriers with 28 countries. It lowers tariffs, and it also allows us to bring in more goods. Now, one of the greatest problems with trade barriers with Europe and the United States is failure to recognize the other nations' standards. So if we had standards on making a car, standards on making electronics, this trade pact will now standardize those and recognize each other's standards for electrical products, for automotive products, and other manufactured products. So this is a big step forward in reducing regulation and making it easier for the people who manufacture goods in Riverside County to sell them to the 28 European Union countries.
I also caught up with Riverside County Supervisor John Binoy, who elaborated on what the Transatlantic Trade Agreement and Investment Partnership means to the people and businesses of the County of Riverside in particular. Visiting now with John Binoy, Supervisor District 4, Riverside County. Supervisor Binoy, nice to have you again.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
This is a special event, a special occasion for you. Riverside County, the Board of Supervisors playing a really critical role in helping out, of course, the Economic Development Agency, the Office of Foreign Trade in the county, bring all of these counties together.
Yeah, these
in
countries.
agreement in these countries as well, the EU. Tell us about that. Give us your thoughts.
Well, the Riverside County has stepped out front, and we've kind of got a national reputation now as being innovative in this area with our Office of Foreign Trade and having agreements with several different countries and the County of Riverside. And it's all an effort to market Riverside County's potential as an exporter and importer from all of these countries. And we've found remarkable willingness on the part of many countries, and today we're particularly pleased to have, I think, 13 members of the European Union represented here today in Riverside County at our county parks headquarters. It's a good day for Riverside County.
This trade agreement and the Investment Partnership Act, how does this help the county, and how does this help, for example, the people in Riverside County and really counties really all over across the country?
Well, import and export has become a huge part of how we do business in the world. It is now a world economy. And Riverside County, particularly during the downturn, looked to import and export as a way to try and smooth the economic downturn in the County of Riverside and the state of California and the United States. We have a number of very successful businesses that have been helped along the way, maybe even started because of our strong affiliation with all the programs that are available. Riverside County took the lead.
How else can those companies and businesses, or why should they support this trade agreement?
Well, the ambassadors from Bulgaria that I was just speaking with a few minutes ago and others that are here tonight, we all have mutually beneficial goals. It's not a one-way street. They are looking for places to export product. We're looking for places to export a product. And to the extent that we can communicate those needs and opportunities, we both benefit on both sides. So it is absolutely a two-way beneficial street. and it's a matter of who communicates best. Do they look around the world for a market and find someplace else, or do they come to Riverside County, or do we help our Riverside County businesses realize that there are opportunities for selling their local product in these various parts of the world?
Supervisor John Binoy, Riverside County's 4th District, thank you so much.
Glad to be here. Thanks a lot.
Rob Field, Assistant Executive Officer at Riverside County's Economic Development Agency, spoke with me about the county's proactive leadership in aggressively pursuing this agreement with the European Union. What does it feel like to be a part of a county leadership, Riverside County in particular, getting all of these counties across the country involved in this transatlantic trade agreement? This has got to be kind of a special feeling for you.
Well, it really is. Yeah, we pride ourselves on taking an innovative approach to government here and being kind of aggressive in terms of pressing our agenda. Foreign trade is hugely important to the entire country. In our instance, it actually was the one thing that kind of carried us through the Great Recession. So we have a real attachment and affinity for it, and we're good at it. So it was our pleasure to be able to step in and help the various countries that are, a lot of whom are represented here tonight, get through that process, get the support of the counties to endorse some free trade agreements.
Do you see this as kind of a new way of doing business, of counties working at more the local and county level, government or local and county level, working with foreign trade offices all over the world in order to kind of foster the beginnings of these trade agreements and start these relationships rather than expect the federal government or the state level governments to kind of take the lead?
Well, yeah, it does kind of reflect the new sort of approach. Regions are really taking charge of their own destiny, not relying on state or federal governments to do stuff. We know what our market is, and we're in a lot of respects we're maybe even better at representing it than the feds or the state might be. It's really a different approach. We were the first in the country actually to open a foreign trade office, so we're kind of treading on new ground every time we do something. But it's really been a fun experience, and it's interesting to be able to be seen as to be seen as innovators, to take a new approach to the way counties run their business.
Margaret Hill is the chair of the Inland Southern California World Affairs Council. She talked to me about the significance of the agreement in helping to build long-term relationships that will benefit the EU and United States in the long run. Standing outside the carriage house now as we await the arrival of all the diplomats here today, speaking with Margaret Hill. She is the chair of the World Affairs Council, Inland Southern California. Ms. Hill, thank you so much for taking just a moment to speak with us.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad you're here and can talk with the people who are attending this.
Well, let's get your impressions of this transatlantic trade agreement. And it really does have significance to both Europe, the nations of Europe, and the EU appearing here today, and to the United States. From your perspective, here at the World Affairs Council, Inland Southern California, what does this mean to you? What does this mean to your board? And what does this mean to Southern California in terms of the advantages and benefits that a trade agreement like this can have?
Well, trade agreements are roadmaps to building connections among people. And Europe and Southern California have a great many things that they work together on, generally in an individual kind of nature. And when you have a trade agreement, it allows you to have a coordinated, organized way to work together. This will be part one of the program. Another part of the program will be in the fall at Cal State San Bernardino, and that will be for students and for public that will be learning about those advantages and will hopefully build their careers around it, not just their business partnerships that are already here.
And how important do you think it is that the Inland Empire, specifically Riverside County, has played such a vital role in getting all of these bodies together?
Well, these kinds of partnerships between the business community and the World Affairs Council is a civic community. Those partnerships are the same as the trade agreement. They bring people together, and through togetherness, there's a strength to keep a program going. And Riverside has been very progressive in building international connections, more than many cities in Southern California.
One of the keynote speakers at the event was European Union President, Her Excellency Elizabeth Fotiadis, also the Consul General of Greece. After her remarks during the presentation, President Fotiadis shared her thoughts about the importance of the Riverside County-led trade agreement to the United States and the EU. And I am very, very happy now to spend just a few moments with Her Excellency Elizabeth Fotiadis. She is the Consul General of Greece and the European Union President. And Madam President, it's so nice of you to take just a few moments. Thank you so much.
It is a pleasure for me to be here.
This is obviously an important occasion for Riverside County. It's an important occasion for the European Union, but really too for the European Union and the United States as a whole. Tell us why, from your perspective, this trade agreement, which is currently being worked on, why it is so important.
Well, this trade agreement, it will be very important because the European Union and the United States come out of the recession right now. They come out from an economic crisis. And this agreement will help create more jobs, will create more opportunities for trade. And we are already each other's main trading partners. So I think that if we don't have any obstacles in our trade anymore, then we will do even better.
Tell us about doing business with the County of Riverside. The County of Riverside took kind of a leadership role in bringing all the other counties of the United States together in supporting this trade agreement. How important was that in your eyes, and how surprised were you perhaps that Riverside County, of all counties, took kind of a leadership role? Was that a surprise to you, or was it good news? What did you think?
Actually, it was very good news, and you are the pioneers. Riverside is a pioneer in the promotion of this free trade agreement, and I think it is because people here understood how important it is. And I know that you persuaded other counties to sign this declaration, and that's what we want. We want people in the States to understand how important is this agreement, and we want them to support it and to promote it. So Riverside did exactly that.
When you found out, you learned about this trade agreement going forward, and the County of Riverside was kind of taking a leadership role in getting all the other counties in the United States to support this trade agreement, what were your first thoughts? Was it kind of a surprise to you? Were you expecting perhaps another county of maybe a more famous stature than Riverside County?
To be honest, I was slightly surprised and at the same time delighted, because I cover all the states on the western side of the United States. And for me, it was particularly pleasant that one of our counties takes the leading role in the whole process. We in Europe want the United States to firmly back on the political front the transatlantic agreement. And we're delighted that a county in the western United States is taking the lead.
This transatlantic trade agreement and investment partnership is really important for both Bulgaria, for the United States, and really for all the nations of the European Union and all the counties and states in the United States. But why is it important that the businesses and people of this country support this trade agreement?
This trade agreement is a really very balanced agreement. It will support job creation on both sides of the Atlantic. It will support the exports of both the European Union to the United States and the US exports to the European Union. It is a great step forward, which it will benefit not just us, but several generations after us. I think that it's really, really important for all the people on both sides of the Atlantic to realize how important this agreement is for both of our trading blocs, so that we can lead the world in terms of standards and processes.
Consul General Marin Dimitrov, thank you so much for taking a moment. I appreciate it.
My pleasure.
This is an important event because it represents an opportunity for both the United States and for Finland with respect to this trade agreement. Why is this trade agreement important, in your words, to the nation of Finland and the United States?
First of all, you need to remember here in the States too, and here in the western areas of USA, California. So, of course, you are looking very much to Asian markets, but you should remember that European Union and USA are building the biggest commercial relation in the world. So that's emphasizing the importance. So two biggest players are making joint cooperation, and the meaning is to even extend and even increase the trade on both sides, and also investments.
The fact that Riverside County was central in taking the lead role in getting all of the other counties in the United States to support this trade agreement, that must have been kind of a surprise to you, maybe thinking that one of the other larger counties or more recognized counties in the United States, but Riverside County, tell me a little bit about your thoughts on their involvement.
Yeah, I was also a bit surprised, but I was happy that it's here in California, firstly, and secondly, it's a good way for me to get more knowledge on Riverside, and it's fantastic, of course. You are kind of a leader now for other counties in the whole state of USA and the whole country. So I wish that all the other counties will follow your example.
Finally, I was joined by Hema Day, CEO of Eiffel International, a firm that helps companies to market their products and services online to international markets. You are involved in online marketing, social media marketing, and with respect to trade, crossing borders. How important is the trade agreement in your eyes with respect to the future of maybe knocking down some barriers to trade between the United States and other countries?
I think it's very feasible now with internet marketing, because the world's gotten so small. Just with the click of a button, you can actually get to know who your buyer is or your seller is. Social media through LinkedIn has been very powerful for lots of companies. Traditionally, I used to go around the world, but I had to buy databases. I had to ring them up, hope and pray that they get back to me, and then make that flight over. Well, that's all not necessary now. You can actually get the information on LinkedIn. You can organize a video conference, and you may not even have to fly there. So the cost of doing business internationally is a lot better now and a lot easier.
Economic and trade leaders from the EU, Riverside County, and the National Association of Counties continue to work on the key details of this groundbreaking trade agreement. When the agreement goes into effect by 2027, officials estimate that it could increase exports from California to the EU by 26%, which will result in the addition of 75,000 jobs in the state alone. For California CEO Magazine at californiaceo.net, I'm Jeff Allen. Thanks for watching.